up, Panther Nation? Despite heading out of Bank of America Stadium 2-0, the general feeling among the fan base was more of relief than excitement. That's because we dominated the game statistically, yet a near touchdown with 9 seconds left felt eerily similar to another Week 2 Bills game that we definitely should have won. Luckily, there was a better result this time around, as we're much stronger in all 3 phases than we were in early 2013. That's not to say this was a moral victory though, by any means. There was a lot to take away from this game, both good and bad. You know what time it is. This is 3 things we learned, where we'll take a look at what we took away from our defensive nail-biter against Buffalo. And speaking of defense, let's start off with the first thing we learned. Number 1. This defense is historically good. Now, don't get it twisted. We all knew about our strong defense, especially with the return of the Jedi, Luke Skywalker, and the maturation of our long-armed corners. But this stout squad has yet to allow a touchdown through 8 quarters of play. In fact, we're the first team to do that since 1981. We've even got lofty praise from future Hall of Famer Julius Peppers when asked how this defense stacks up against others he's played on.
This is the best one I ever played on. I have all the confidence, trust, belief in these guys. We all play for one another. We all have that trust and confidence in one another. So I feel like the sky's the limit, and yeah, this is the best I've ever played on before.
This is particularly meaningful considering the top-tier defenses Pep has been a part of, including the 2012 Bears, which was not only the league's best, but notorious for their pick sixes, thanks in part to another Bear-turned-Panther. The fact of the matter is, we held Buffalo to 176 yards, and rendered Shady McCoy into a non-factor. Our defense won this game for us, and is currently numero uno in the league, and that's definitely something to be excited about. So let's move on to the second thing we learned in our home opener. Number 2, Cam cannot be a sailor. We're all well aware of Cam's tendency to sail passes clear over the ocean blue. His rocket launcher arm is truly a gift and a curse. The same strength that can effortlessly thread the needle 30 yards downfield often needlessly threads the needle clear over targets 5 yards downfield. He's 5'10", Cam. Not 10-5. This problem has only been exacerbated thus far this season, mostly due to his ongoing shoulder recovery, but also now that our running backs are more involved in our short yardage passing game. Which brings us to Sunday. On a 3rd and goal late in the 4th quarter, Quicksilver McCaffrey was wide open near the right hash of the end zone. A touchdown at that point would have put the game, one need I remind you we completely dominated, firmly out of the Bills' reach. And, as I'm sure you know, Cam used that rocket arm to do something that made fans cringe in disbelief. Sailed it clear over Run CMC's outstretched arms. If Buffalo would have ultimately won that game, and they came dangerously close to doing that, I'm sure there would have been a few Twitter GMs angrily demanding that Derek Anderson start, and that's saying a lot at this point.
That's fine.
It's painfully clear that if we expect to have consistent success this season, Cam is going to have to sharpen his accuracy and put a little more touch on the ball. Otherwise, we may continue to lose to teams that we are clearly more talented than, which, in case you didn't know, is not fun. Well, moving on to the 3rd and final storyline of the game, and without a doubt the most notable. Number 3. The end of a legendary streak. Aside from the game itself, one takeaway from the aftermath will haunt our team for far longer than a week. On a seemingly mundane play, Mr. Consistency himself suffered a broken foot without contact. It turns out the veteran tight end will not extend his historic 1,000-yard streak to 4 seasons. Truly a nightmare scenario that has the deflating vibe of another non-contact injury, except worse. Listen to what a visibly distraught Olsen had to say directly after the game.
I was just running. I just planted my foot, and I just felt it pop. You know, it's disappointing, obviously. I've always prided myself on being out there and playing. Sometimes things are out of your control.
Greg has since been placed on IR with the designation to return. Horrible for someone who works tirelessly to maintain peak conditioning. But the question moving forward is just how are we going to replace him? Well, the short answer is we're not. The closest thing we can do is spread his would-be snaps around by committee. A popular name being thrown around right about now is former Panther Gary Barnidge, though I don't think this is likely to actually happen. First off, there's usually a reason why a former Pro Bowler would remain unsigned by this point of the season, unless of course you're Colin Kaepernick. And secondly, we've recently promoted Alex the Train Arma from the practice squad, and Ron Rivera has expressed his utmost confidence in presumed starter Ed Dixon. Still, it's going to be a long uphill battle to keep our offense going after losing Cam's security blanket, and I'm curious to see just how efficient we can be without Dexter Olsen. Well, that is all we have for you today, Panther Nation. If you liked this video, be sure to hit that like button. It really does help us out. And if you want to keep getting our weekly recaps, be sure to pound that subscribe button and turn on those notifications to be the first one to know when we release new content. And as always, don't forget to answer our question of the day in the comments section. What is your favorite vintage Greg Olsen moment? Mine has to be that go-ahead touchdown against Seattle in 2015. Anyways, let's get the discussion going. I will see your beautiful faces soon. Stay blue, my friends.